Hello, my friends. Hello, it's Matthew Street. Welcome to my channel. I appreciate you being here. And folks, that's it. I'm joining the Caller Commandos. Yes, I am, folks. you know, what the heck? Why can't I make up a military musical team here? Well, the Kiss has the Kiss Army, and the Beatles got the Beatlemaniacs. and Loverboy has the Loverboy Lovers, the Kinky Kinks. Well, maybe some of those I'm just making up on the fly here, but you know what I'm saying, folks. I'm just here to say that I'm a caller commando. I am a card-carrying fan of the Midnight Callers. Have their brand new CD, brand new album right here. I'm going to show you the vinyl in a minute. I got an advanced copy of the vinyl, and I want to review this album because, folks, so many great people out there have taken the time to review the brand new album coming out Friday, June 23rd by the Midnight Callers, and they wonderful reviews on this album. These people were fantastic, and so I want to do my part and jump in on it. I was fortunate enough to do a recent interview with 3 members of the band, along with the great Stephen Schnee, and I please encourage you, check out that interview. It's posted on both my channel and the Stephen Schnee channel, and it was a great time. You'll learn a lot about the recording process of this album and what went into the mind of the band members as they recorded this album. So I encourage you to check that out. And I was going to leave it at that, but then I said, I should do like some of the other great people out there in the vinyl community and music community have done. I should just do a quick review of this album and give my thoughts on it. So that's what I want to do. These other people inspired me. They encouraged me. And matter of fact, the most recent one I just watched was just posted by Gary at Physical Format Rock and Roll. And Gary, what a wonderful job he did. He came on, great job. And Gary, he's always drinking one of those high class, high potency beers in his videos. And I don't do that, folks, because I have to watch my figure. I'm getting old. Matthew Street's an old dude. And if I drink that high-end beer stuff, my waistline will just go crazy. So Gary, this is for you, a toast to Gary, a toast to the Midnight Callers' new album, and a toast to all my viewers and wonderful people out there. I'm drinking the light stuff. I'm drinking the wimpy beer here, but I'm going to crack this open for Gary and everybody else. A Coors Light, okay? Because I love it when Gary does that in his videos, and that's for all of you and all fans of the Midnight Callers and to the band on their new album. So, folks, what I'm going to do is go briefly through each of the 11 original tracks on this brand new album. Like I said, I'm going to show you the vinyl. I have a early advanced copy of the vinyl. I want to show you that. But first, before I start on my review, folks, let me just say this in general. Power pop as a genre gets a raw deal. It does. It gets crapped on. It gets dismissed. A lot of people that are kind of pretentious music snobs, so to speak, have this attitude about it. Oh, power pop, go away. To me, it's all rock and roll, folks. It's rock and roll. Power pop is a genre. I get it. But to me, this is more than power pop. This is rock and roll, new rock and roll, something we need in this day and age. New, good, well put together rock and roll. You get music like jazz and fusion. What else? Progressive rock, prog rock, and a lot of people say, well, that's more advanced. That's advanced. You need an advanced degree to do music like that. But, yet, in my opinion, one of the hardest, most difficult pieces of music to write is not a symphony. And it's not jazz fusion compositions, although I'm sure that stuff can be difficult too. But to take and write a well-written, successful 2 to 3 minute pop song that's catchy, that has hit potential, hooks and melody, that's hard to do, folks. You ask anybody who writes music and they'll tell you to come up with a quick 2 to 3 minute pop song or power pop song or rock song, and have it be successful and catchy and be that earworm, that's hard to do. It's not an easy task to do, especially in this day and age, and all the decades and years that have gone by since rock and roll came out in the 50s. Now, many pop songs like that are unsuccessful. They just don't quite cut it. You know, the people try and try. Thousands of them, thousands are written. People trying to write the perfect pop song, the perfect power pop or rock song, and they just can't do it. The majority just don't make it. They don't cut it. And that's a shame. That's a darn shame. But there are a handful of artists and groups out there who do have what it takes. They've got that knack for it, okay? They got that little pizzazz to write a good little 2 to 3 minute pop song that catches your ear, pulls you in, and won't let go. And I'm sorry, this band right here, the Midnight Callers, are one of those groups that has it, that has that ability to pull you in with a great pop tune, with a great melody, with a great hook. It grabs you and pulls you in. Now in 2020, they recorded their first album for Gem Records. And they didn't have any expectations with that first album. From the interview we did with them, they basically were saying, we just put together that album to have something to sell at our gigs. You know, just have something for people to say if they ask us, hey, you got any music? Oh, yeah, we got this thing we recorded. But go back to the interview, you'll hear the whole story. But they eventually, the music on that album was so well put together and received that it took notice of Marty Scott, president of Gem Records, and he signed them to a deal at the label at Gem Records. And it went on to do great things. I mean, it got numerous accolades. It made many top 10 lists at the end of 2020. Coolest song of the year on Little Steven's Underground Garage. Coolest song of the entire year, made number 3 for the whole year of 2020 on Little Steven's Underground Garage. And now they're releasing their second album, Rattled, Humming Heart. And folks, no sophomore slump here at all. This is a fabulous, fabulous album. The band has grown, they've matured, they've developed. They still retain that edge, that rock and roll power pop edge they had on the first album, but they've really spread their wings on this one, folks. This one is really, to me, I love the first one. It's great, it's classic, but this one is really a step above, head and shoulders above that first one. Now, in my opinion, Rattled Humming Heart is an unmitigated triumph on all fronts. The harmonies are here. 11 fantastic originals, well written, well played, well sung, and produced. Fantastic. You got 4 guys here that are in their early to mid 30s, and they've renewed my faith in the future of rock and roll and power pop, certainly. Okay, so I'm going to get into it right now of all 11 songs and quick thoughts on each one, so bear with me. But here's the CD, and let me show you the vinyl. Here's a copy of the vinyl. It has a different type of hype sticker than the CD does. Limited edition orange vinyl. And then all the information that's on the inside of the CD fold is on the back here of the vinyl album. You got the song titles and all the credits and things are here. And now let me show you the beautiful orange vinyl. There you go. With a nice custom label, Gem Records label. And there's the other side. Goes well with the theme. The coloring on the album has some reds and some oranges in it, so this fits very nice. So again, there you go, folks. And there's the vinyl. Now, first song, track 1 is New York Tramp. Big, big chords. Start this off with a boom, okay? Driving rocker. It just kicks right in. It's rocking and going fast. And there's one little part in it. Again, when I use comparisons or mention other groups, there's no copycats here. This is original rock and roll power pop music. But they do have their influences here, or at least what I hear is influences. This isn't so much an influence, but on New York Tramp, there's one little high part right in the middle of the song. Any of you familiar with the Beatles song, Tell Me Why? There's one little falsetto part in Tell Me Why, where the Beatles sing in a high falsetto briefly, and then you never hear it again in the song. Comes in briefly, gone, you never hear it again. Well, there's a little kind of tribute to that, I think, or a little bit of an influence from that in New York Tramp. There's a high part in the song where the band just all of a sudden sings this high falsetto part, kind of Queen-like, and it's there, it comes in, and then it goes away, and you never hear it again the rest of the song. But it grabs you, it grabs your attention. You go, whoa, what was that? And then you're listening for it again, and it never appears again. The song is just so diverse and well put together. But the guitar break has like a Thin Lizzy-ish kind of guitar break. And also, I should mention this song has been selected by Little Steven Van Zandt himself to be their second coolest song in the world on Underground Garage, and that will be beginning Monday, June 26th for that entire week. So leading into early July, so listen for that. If you listen to Little Steven's Underground Garage stations, New York Tramp will be coolest song in the world. Second song is Step with an exclamation point at the end. I like that. This should be a single. This should be the second single, in my opinion. This is catchy as hell. Hooks to die for in Step. It's a little power pop rockin' ditty. It's got that syncopated beat to it, like boom, pop, 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 boom, pop, boom, pop, boom, pop. Reminds me of like Mr. Blue Sky from ELO, or I Want You to Want Me from Cheap Trick. That, boom, pop, boom, pop, boom, pop beat. I don't know how else to explain it. That syncopated kind of beat. It just grabs you, this song. It makes you want to get up and dance and shake your rear end. It's like a runaway song, as the band explained in the interview with us, kind of in the vein of like a theme of Born to Run, where you want to take your significant other, grab them, and let's run away and get out of this place, baby. It's one of those kind of songs, like let's get out of here, but it wants you to dance too. So I love that one. Third song is called Closer, or Closer. They sing both ways in the song. Closer. This is a drum-based song. Drums are the prominent instrument in this song. It's a scorcher. It's also a very modern sounding song. Of the first three, it's got the most modern today sound, although the whole album sounds today. But this one is just really today sounding, / it also has kind of a 50s rocker vocal style. Kind of reminded me of the way the lead singer is singing this. Sounds like a Gene Vincent or Elvis, kind of like, has some of those inflections in it and in the vocals. And the drum break, instead of a guitar solo or a piano solo or a keyboard solo, we get a drum break solo in Closer, okay? And it reminds me, the minute I heard it, I was like, it doesn't sound exact. Like I said, it's very original, but it kind of harkens back to the Ventures' Hawaii Five-O. Think back to the Ventures' Hawaii Five-O song, if you know that song. That's what the drum break in Closer reminds me of. Fourth song is called Girl on the Run. This is power pop heaven. This is where the 12-string jangle comes in. Power pop meets the Ronettes. That's what it is. It's like Phil Spector and the Wrecking Crew, Wall of Sound meet power pop, but it's a modern pop tune. You know what I mean? It's got, 12-string jangle bliss meets the Ronettes. That bump, 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 bump. That kind of beat to it, but not exact. You know what I mean? It's like it's a nod to it, a reflection of that, but it's a today modern pop, power pop song. Without Ya, the fifth song. Beautiful piano and vocal opening. Very choral-like. Shades of Queen, but not quite. Okay, I won't go that far, but reflections of Queen. And then all of a sudden it goes into this glam rock 2023 rave up. And I say glam rock because it's got that glam rock feel to it, but it sounds today, 2023. And I really like how it mentions glam rock heroes in the lyrics. You hear a mention of Mark Bolan from T-Rex in lyrics. You hear a mention of David Bowie in the lyrics. Really paying homage to these people in this genre, but in a modern 2023 way. And the vocal harmonies are stunning in Without Ya. Then we go to the a song that was released as a digital kind of only single a few weeks ago, Baby Let Me Be. Now, Steve Schnee said it best to me on this song when he was talking to me. He said, Matt, If Baby Let Me Be was released somewhere between 1978 and 1982 as a single, it would have been a top 10 smash hit and an instant classic. That's what he said to me. And this guy knows his business. That's Stephen Schnee, let me tell you. And he's right. It's an instant classic power pop song right now. And it's a nugget. It's one of these nuggets right in the middle of the album that, you got the first 5 songs, and you get this great today sounding power pop nugget that could have been a smash hit, back in the power pop heyday. It's just perfection. All right, next song, Little Runaround. This is a fast-paced, driving, modern sounding power pop tune. And it's just got a cool vibe to it. It sounds so today and fresh, yet it harkens back. You get that reflection back, looking back with reverence, but today, it sounds today. And the lyrics like, I am on the break now. I got 1 foot forward and 1 foot back now. I love my little run around, running with you. It's just got a really cool kind of today, like cadence to the lyrics, but just catchy. One of the catchiest hooks on the album. It drew me right in. What Goes Around? This starts out with beautiful vocal harmonies. You think, oh, where's this going? Really beautiful vocalizations. And then, boom, all of a sudden it goes into this borderline punkish melodic rock tune. Like borderline, kind of like punk blended with melodic rock. I don't know how else to explain it. And just cool, fun lyrics like the prom queen, she wouldn't take a second look at me. She got no problems. The whole world's at her feet. Mr. Pretty, he can have her. Probably still thinks all about her ASS. Yeah, it's just really fun, cool, modern style lyrics, but stuff we can all relate to. We were never getting the prom queen. She wouldn't even look at us. Mr. Pretty Boy got her, and he probably today he's still thinking about her. Or you know what? It's just a cool rave up rocker. Probably one of the hardest rocking songs on the album, What Goes Around. Then we switch gears. We go into The Plan. And The Plan, my first thought was, wow, it's got that semi-acoustic, country-ish power pop vibe. And I first thought, wow, this kind of could be on like Rubber Soul. And I'm not comparing it to the Beatles. I'm just saying, like, when I heard The Plan, I thought, ooh, that could fit on Rubber Soul with the acoustic, electric vibe, the cool electric solo, the country western style to it, mixed with power pop. That's what I first thought of with The Plan. Country solo, but not quite, very hook-filled, and it grabs you. Maggie, all of a sudden for the beginning of Maggie, we hear like sounds of a cityscape. You hear like traffic, you hear, sirens and people walk. You're in the city now. You hear an opening cityscape sound. Sounds of New York City, perhaps, where the band makes their home. And then it kind of goes into a beautiful, simple acoustic ballady song with beautiful vocals, beautiful harmonies. You could tell at some point, there's 2 lead singers singing harmonies, singing together in the song. And the song is really beautiful. It's about the love you have for someone in your life and the eventual tragic loss of that person. Someone very important to you that you loved and then lost them. Like one of the lyrics is that the person and character in this song ended up being found on a Brooklyn floor. We don't know what happened to them, but it was a tragic loss, love lost for this person, the person singing. Just a beautiful song, but beauty mixed with sadness with Maggie, if that makes sense. And last but not least, Colors, a great big psych rock ending, psyche, I should say, not exact psych rock, just not pure psych, but it's kind of like a little psych mixed with vocal harmony bliss, a lot of vocalizations, harmonies, stinging guitars, and very deliberate beat to it. Boom, that beat just won't let up. It's punchy, and it builds to a crescendo ending. And then the last thing you hear is after the thing builds and builds and ends, the end of the album is just the sound of feedback ending the album. Very cool. So, folks, call it glam rock, call it power pop, whatever you want. I mean, I could call it that if you want, but I just think it's so much more than that, this album. I just think there's a lot more going on here than that. The influences are there. Yes, there's a little of this and a little of that. You kind of get little hints of, could this be that? You know, you could say, oh, there's a little bit of Beatles here, a little Big Star, a T-Rex, Thin Lizzy, Cheap Trick, Badfinger, Raspberries, Petty and the Heartbreakers, Raconteurs, The Strokes, maybe a little Eagles of Death Metal on one or two of the songs. You know, stuff. You hear reflections, but it's only shades of these things. It's not like it's this is copy, and no, it's like it's original, it's today, but you can hear that these guys have reverence for the past throughout, you know, their lives, or what, going back decades. They really pay homage and tribute to some of these things, and you get these little flashes and reflections of these other artists, but it's a solid original outing, folks. This Midnight Callers album is totally modern, totally 2023. And right now it's my favorite album of 2023. And it could be one of my favorite power pop general / rock albums, basic rock albums of the last 25 years. That's how much I love this album. I strongly encourage you to get it either on CD or get the limited edition colored orange vinyl. It's streaming June 23rd on Gem Records. Folks, Rattled Humming Heart by the Midnight Callers. Their sophomore album is a keeper, folks, an absolute keeper. And from me to you, the Colonel of the Callers Commandos, Matthew Street, thanks for being here, and I hope you'll check out this fine album. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.